Hi everyone. In today's Schoology video, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about how we can adjust the way our main Schoology page looks by changing the image associated with each of our courses. So here I am on my main course page, and you can see the icons are blue. These seem to be the default images for those courses that I created myself. I believe the icon is the same for the courses that were auto-generated when your Schoology account synced with your PowerSchool account. Unfortunately, the names of the courses cannot be changed simply because they're syncing every day with PowerSchool. So if you change the name and then something in your course changes, for example, you get a new student, the sync will not happen. So we are not permitted to change the names that appear in the lower portion of this little tile, but we can change the image that shows up here. So rather than just having a generic image or a photo of some kind, we're going to actually create our own images using Google Slides, where we can clearly note the title of our course, the class period, the room number, any pertinent information, and maybe we can make each one a different color so that it's really easy to differentiate whether we're a student or a teacher just by a quick glance. So we're going to be using Google Slides. Of course, there are a million ways that you can create images. You could do them in Canva, you could do it in Google Drawing, but I'm going to show for Google Slides because I feel like we're all pretty comfortable using slides. So simply open up a new tab and go to slides.new, and here we are. So I've got an untitled presentation. I don't want this layout. I have to change the dimensions. So we're going to do that by tapping File, Page Setup, change the default widescreen to custom. We can actually leave the first digit alone, and in the next box, we're going to change those dimensions to 2.8 and click apply. So now we've got sort of a narrow banner. I'm actually going to get rid of the second text box. And what I'll do first is change the background color. So nothing is highlighted on my screen. I'm going to tap the word background and I'm going to give it a color. If I have 5 classes, I'm going to make each one have a slightly different color on the background. So let's make this one pink. There we go. And since this is already nice and big and bold, I'm going to type the name of my course. I think it's probably a good idea, if you're thinking like a student, to have them be able to see everybody's class tile named in a similar way. So maybe you want to do something like your last name, followed by the title of your course, and maybe the grade level. So mine is Library 6, perhaps yours would be ELA 6, or Phys Ed 7, or something like that, right? Then below that, I'm going to type the class period and or room number, anything that you think would help the kids know exactly which class this one is, because the notation from PowerSchool might not be clear. So I'm going to call this one period 5, room 214. I don't want these words to be quite as large, so I'm going to make them a little smaller. And I'm going to make this whole thing fill the screen as best I can. Just going to keep enlarging, enlarging, enlarging. And I'm going to make this text box have a little bit of a pink border around it. There we go. So now I'm going to fill that text box white so that each tile looks like it has a different color border. So that's it. We can keep it just this simple. Of course, if you want to fancy it up, you can add an image, a clip art, a photograph, something. You could do whatever you like to make it pretty or not. But I think simple is better. And as long as there are just, colors and bold text so that it's easy for the kids to see, I think that that's just fine. We don't have to get any fancier than this. So now I'm going to have to create as many images like this as I need for as many class periods I teach. So to do that, I'm simply going to tap on the left-hand side so that this slide gets highlighted with that yellow-orange box, right? And then I can do Control-C to copy, or Command-C if you're on a Mac. and Control V to paste. Now I've got 2 slides that look just the same. This time I don't want it to be pink, so slide number 2 is highlighted. I'm going to click background and I'm going to make that one a different color. And now I can change the font. Maybe this is going to be period 8, and maybe this one will be library 7. Okay, so you're going to make any necessary changes to the text, and that's it. And we'll repeat that copy and paste process for as many courses as you teach, as many sections as you have. So I'll do one more, and I will change this one to a different color and a different course name and period. Call this period 9. Okay, so now I've got these 3 images so that I can replace them on my Schoology icon. And all I have to do to save these as images is click File, Download, JPEG. Repeat that process for each slide. So I did the 8th grade, I did 7th grade, and now File, Download, JPEG. Okay, so now those 3 JPEGs have saved to my device. I happen to be on a Chromebook. So now I'm going to go back to Schoology and to my courses, and I would like to change this generic photo to one of those ones I just created. So I'm going to tap the course icon, and all the way to the left you'll see a duplicate of that icon, and I'll click Edit Picture and choose Attach File. Now I just have to find it on my device. So here we are. This was 6th grade. I think that was the pink one, right? Pink, open. And there we go. So I can X out of this, and now you can see the course has a different photograph. In fact, if I go back to courses, we can see it enlarged. There we go. So now when the students get their view of classes, they're going to see very clearly which class this belongs to. So it doesn't matter what PowerSchool's language was when they described my course here. This is making it very obvious to them. So I would repeat the process for all 3 tiles. Very, very simple. It's just really important to remember that in order to make that change, we can add the wording that we like to an image. We are not permitted to adjust the name of our course in Schoology. Please don't change the name of the course in Schoology. However, change as many images as you like.